Hey everyone, this is Paul with Particl, and this week I want to get into the buy flow of the upcoming Alpha Open Marketplace by Particl. This is a really highly anticipated release of the marketplace. We haven't updated the marketplace as a full release since May when we launched it. We've done a bunch of community builds, and this is going to be a new stable build of the alpha, and this is actually going to be on mainnet. We're going to release it on mainnet. It's for experienced users only. We caution everybody. We have some disclaimers in there, just keeping everybody aware that this is still experimental. It's a different way to shop online, but it is definitely a way that you can buy and sell stuff for crypto. It's something that we really need in the space, and we're really excited to bring it to you. So let's get into it. Okay, really excited to show you the different steps in the interface of the Alpha Marketplace if you guys haven't seen it yet. I'm going to walk through the vendor side, posting a listing. That's not really part of the buy flow. The buy flow doesn't happen until someone actually places a bid on it, and I'll walk you through each step. But there's about 6 steps involved. It's a peer-to-peer relationship between just 2 people. It's in a trustless manner. Just goes back to the roots of Bitcoin being a peer-to-peer e-cash system where you're in control of your money. We were finally in control of our money. The same thing we're doing with Particl, where it's a peer-to-peer. There's no third party. There's no moderator. It's very unique in the decentralized marketplace space. It's obviously unique in the online shopping space. It's a different way to online shop, but it's a way to not leave crypto. You don't have to leave crypto. You don't have to get out of crypto or lose control to be able to buy and sell stuff anymore. You can do it all on the Particl Marketplace. Okay, so first I'm going to do a listing. Again, I mentioned that this isn't part of the buy flow. As we view the buy flow, it's a different mechanism. The listing is adding images and description and actually posting it. But I'm going to start there since that's where every listing is going to start, and then we'll get into the steps of the buy flow and show you how the transactions, what it looks like, and the different interfaces and messages, and how the whole the really nice super sleek GUI is very user friendly. Is easy to walk through. Walks you through even if it's your first time on the marketplace. So the team's done a really good job on both the front and the back to make this process as clean as possible, even for a proof of concept. So we'll start with going to the marketplace and the marketplace tab and the sell tab, and then we're gonna post a listing. So there's an option to drag and drop a photo or grab a photo from your desktop or from your computer or some location. Then you're going to fill in all the listing details. Now each one of these fields is a required field. You're not going to be able to post the listing without filling in each one of these fields. So there's obviously the typical listing information, the title, a short description, like an overview, and then a longer description. You want to pick a category so it's searchable. There's actually, you're going to pick from your country, and we do that so that we know where it's coming from. We post that on the listing. And then you're going to add your price in part, and then you're going to add your domestic shipping price, so that's local to your country. And then international if it has to go outside your country. You can also pick a variety of listing expiration and fees. As you saw, there's like 4-day all the way up to 4-week. And then once you have everything put in, let's go ahead and click the button to list it. And it's going to go through real quick and start to process the listing. Now, we've always encouraged you guys to Keep your wallet encrypted. You can see up in the right hand corner my wallet is encrypted, even though this is testnet. So before you place a listing, you're going to want to unlock your wallet, and then it'll go through. If you don't have your wallet encrypted, then it would do it automatically. Okay, so you see the little tab there. It says published, and that's under the listings tab that we're at. The orders tab now is showing we don't have any orders yet, and we could go back to the listings. You can see nothing's really populated yet. It takes a little bit of time for it to populate. You can see the wallet's still unlocked, but it's only unlocked for a short amount of time, so that because we're actually unlocking the wallet just to post the listing. So then we're going to go look in the orders and the listings and just be able to show what the history of this was. So what's a listing look like in your transaction history? So you see you get a little note that you actually posted a listing, and it gives a fee. Now that fee is the only fee that you'll see. It's on the vendor side, and they actually are the only people that get the fee. And that's an anti-spam measure. We don't want people just listing for free. We're going to switch on over to the buyer side. This is what somebody would see as they're searching for in the marketplace, and we'll start the buy flow, and we'll go from there. We start in the marketplace desktop again, and you're looking through listings, and you can see the deck of cards that I had stuck in there. You can pull it up and get the title and the description. You see a number of you see pretty much all the information you need related to the purchase price. In some of the newer versions, that's actually updated, so we'll probably update this. Then you go to your cart, and you can see that, okay, you've added that into your cart, the deck of cards. And from the buyer side, then you have a step 1, step 2, step 3, which is step 1 is your cart, step 2 is shipping details. And in here you can enter all your shipping addresses, or like me, I've already entered that, I've saved it. So you can pre-save shipping profiles and fast track through that and hit confirm. And then it'll give you a description of your shipping address, kind of like a double check, and the price. And it'll give you a little place order with a little modal. And then once that's placed, you see an order's been successfully placed. And in my buy orders tab, now I have placed an order on both the deck of cards and the Bitcoin coin, which is both show bidding, and it says waiting for seller to manually accept or reject my bid. Now this is the first step of the buy flow. So in this step, we've placed a bid, and if you go over to your history, now you see there's a balance transfer that's happened. And that's the first step of the process, where a balance transfer's happened. There's 0 fee to do that. We've just placed a bid. We've not committed any funds to anything. And so that's kind of nice. So as you can see, the only fee so far has been the vendor side, and we have these nice little tags that show what step we're in. Now we're going to switch right back over into the seller window, the vendor side, and see what that shows up as. So now we see, okay, this is my listing page. Everything's published. Over on the left, you see there's 2 little notices that someone's bid on some items. So I go to orders, and I can see someone's bid on the deck of cards. Buyer wants to purchase this item, approve or reject. And I can choose to accept the bid or reject the bid, cancel the order. And in my status, you can see I have 2 orders that are bidding. So I can hit yes, accept. Again, this wallet's encrypted, so I want to unlock that wallet, because there's going to be a, similar to the buyer side, there's going to be a balance transfer that happens. And this is all part of the buy flow that I wanted to walk through. So orders accepted for the deck of cards. So now we have accepted that. You can see everything switched to awaiting, and you can see in the history now we have another balance transfer on the vendor side that's been transferred into an address. There's 0 fees to do that. Again, no fees have been, no part has been transferred back and forth. This is just the start of the buy flow. This is a purely peer-to-peer two-party trustless escrow that's going to happen. I'm going to go ahead and accept the other bid on the Bitcoin coin, just to move a couple of these, get them in different statuses as we go through the rest of the buy flow. So I'll go ahead and accept that. You can see there's again no fee that's going to be incurred from this. Both go to awaiting. My wallet's only unlocked for a short amount of time, and both have balance transfers. So pretty cool. So now we go to orders. Just real quick to recap the filter by status. I have 2 now as the vendor in my awaiting category, and it's saying waiting for buyer to lock the payment into escrow. Okay, we're gonna switch back over to the buyer side and start the process of locking in, actually starting to move Particl and locking in the two-party escrow. So we'll show you the steps in that and keep moving through this process of the buy flow. So on the buyer side now, I have 2 little notifications that I have 2 buys that have little notifications. So it says seller accepted my bid. Great. Please proceed to making the payment. And this will lock the funds. So we give a little notice that this is actually going to start locking the funds into a 2-person trustless escrow. And it shows you the price. So we have two part for the listing price, half a part for shipping, and it's 100% matching for escrow. So the total price is 5. So I'm actually paying double what the item costs, just temporarily until it's locked in. And I also want to point out that we have a little, a nice little modal that shows you all the details after you hit the make payment button. So there's a lot of verification. Shows you the address that the part's going to go into. That's a multi-sig address for the escrow, and then it shows you the listing price, shipping price, escrow, total amount, and it says escrow funds will be returned to you after the order is successfully completed and delivered. So everything happens automatically per the scripts that are already built into the Particl core. So it's a nice little confirm transaction modal. Super simple, super easy to understand. It's hard to get sort of lost in this process. I think the team's done a great job with it. So the payment's done for the order of the deck of cards. And again, we can go to the history, and here you see the start of the multi-sig escrow. And it shows you the full amount that's in there. And what that's done is it's taken the buyer's side and the vendor's side and put it into an escrow. So the same transaction happens on the seller side, where the seller has that same transaction show up in the history, and I'll show you that. So you can see now we have one that's awaiting and one that's in escrow, and it says funds locked in escrow until the seller processes the order for shipping. So once the order's shipped, then that's the next step in the process. So let's go ahead and go over to the vendor side, and we'll go through the next step, which is the shipping of the item. This is all part of the buy flow again, and just walking through each step. So on their side, you can see the same thing. There's one awaiting and there's one in escrow. Buyer's funds are locked in escrow. Orders ready to ship. When sent, mark order as shipped. So you can go in the history and you can see that escrow has shown up on the vendor side as well. So that same 10.5 part. There's 0 fee for this again. And you can see that that is locked in. So the next step for the vendor would be, they have skin in the game now. So the vendor actually has agreed to match that escrow 2.5 part. So there's skin in the game. Their onus is to ship the item and stay honest, else they'll lose their 2.5 part. So we give a little confirm as order shipped. You can actually add tracking information. I'm going to put a little note into it, but you can add tracking information into that item, and this just plays off of this built-in into Bitcoin and Particl, that you can add little messages to your transactions. So it's a nice little feature to to leverage for e-commerce online, peer-to-peer e-commerce. So you can see, okay, I marked it shipped. Now it's in the shipping box, and we go to history, and there's nothing that changes in this. So, you know, again, this is a step that the vendor has to do in order to proceed in the buy flow, so that ultimately they'll be able to get their funds for their funds, that the skin that they put in the game, which was the 2.5 part back. So now the order's sent to the buyer, and we're waiting for the buyer. Okay, so now we're going to go back over to the buyer side, and you can see in the buyer side we actually have still two little notices. One's still stuck in awaiting, but the other one's in shipping. You can see we've been shipped. So order's been shipped. When you receive it, mark it delivered, and the escrows will be released. So this is the final step in the buy flow. And here, once you receive the order, then you'll be able to say, okay, I've received the order. Everything's stopped in this, and we can go in and see what that affects in the history. And what that does is actually unlocks the escrow and releases everything. So the contract's finished, and we've received our part back that we put into it. This is again the buyer side, so we got our 3.5 part back from that. So it only cost us the original amount and plus the shipping. And you can see there's the escrow, that was part of it. The balance transfer was another part of it, and then this balance transfer was for a previous that was for the Bitcoin coin that we had done earlier. But there was 3 steps on the buyer's side where it affected our history. So you know, that pretty much finishes it. But let's go ahead and go over to the seller side, and let's see what the history on the seller side is, so we can see, you know, what that means on their side. So you can see there's nothing showing up. We have the hide completed button checked. So in our orders, nothing's showing up. We can actually unclick that hide completed and show it. But let's go ahead and go to the history tab, and you can see that we received back the payment for the item plus the funds that we had stuck into it to match for it. So we got our pretty much 7 part back, and you can see that the multi-sig escrow was part of it, and then the balance transfer was actually part of the buy flow, and the posted listing was part of the buy flow. We had a couple stakes in the middle there, so winner, winner, chicken dinner. Although this is Particl testnet, so they equal 0, but still kind of fun seeing those stake transactions come through, right? Okay, so just to go over real quick again, the orders in the seller side. You can see our listings we still have as published, but on the order side we have a finished transaction. The buy flow's been done, and everything's been completed. So that's hopefully that wasn't too crazy to go through. You might be good to go through a couple more times, you know, just to kind of walk through the steps. But you know, I hope that gives you a good idea of the buy flow on the Particl Open Market, the new alpha that's coming out. This will be on mainnet. This has been on testnet since May. We've had a lot of testers helping with us. You know, this interface is actually even going to change when you guys all see the mainnet release. We may end up doing an update to this video. We will do an update to this video that shows even the way that the escrow and shipping and everything's displayed within the listing has changed. It's even nice and clean. And you'll notice that with each update as we do it, that as we've been testing this, you know, the testers will agree, you know, the May release versus say the August release versus the October and November release, everything's been cleaner and cleaner and cleaner, and it's been just great having the input so that we know this is as simple as can be. We don't want it too techy. We want normal people to understand it. But, you know, it is a different process than what people are used to with having, you know, the trust model that we're all used to using through Amazon or eBay or even some of the decentralized options. that have the moderators involved, which are, you know, basically having third parties do the escrow. So this is a very unique setup. It's a peer-to-peer trustless escrow system. It's the buy flow is set up with just using, you know, the scripts and being able to do smart contracts, I would say, using Particl Core and Bitcoin to be able to, you know, be able to buy and sell stuff for crypto. You know, this is an opportunity I think that we all see and want to grasp, that, you know, we don't have to leave crypto. You can buy stuff with crypto now. You can sell your stuff for crypto. There's a lot of possibilities with being able to, you know, leverage this for, you know, being able to, as a vendor who sells stuff online, but I want to get into crypto, I can't request Bitcoin as a payment on Amazon or something. Well, now I can, you know, keep my Amazon store, but I could set up a Particl Market, sell stuff, and actually get into crypto that way. You know, so it's a great, you know, option for that as an on-ramp into crypto as well. So, but the biggest thing I think is just to show what the buy flow is on the marketplace, to go through each step from the vendor side, from the buyer side, and really just show off, you know, the interface. So we'll be doing more videos like this. This was a really cool one, I think, to start with, just because it shows, you know, what both sides are seeing ahead of time, and showing sort of the interface at the same time. It seemed like a great thing to lead off with. So look forward to showing more of these videos. We'll have a number of these that are going to be coming out, just showing off the marketplace interface and all the different, you know, unique things that are happening with that, you know, product. So